Hi there, thanks for joining me today. In this video, I want to introduce to you a sort of mini series of video tutorials that I will be doing. I am calling this series Think Outside the Jar. This is the perfectly preserved stamp set. And I have to say right now I'm absolutely addicted to this stamp set. I just love it. So in this video series, it'll probably be maybe 4 videos or so. I'm going to be showing you some unique and fun ideas for different ways you can use these stamp elements from this set. For our first Think Outside the Jar project, we're going to be making these super sweet little place cards. There is still a lot of hot weather left and summer is not over, so still a lot of time for outdoor entertaining, cookouts and barbecues, and in fact this weekend is Labor Day weekend, so these would be absolutely adorable for your Labor Day weekend family cookout, or if you're having a neighborhood get together or something like that. So let's get started. Let me show you how I put this together. The first thing that I need to do is stamp my images, and I've got the jar and the corn image from the perfectly preserved stamp set, and then I just have a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock. I'm going to start with the jar, and I'm going to stamp this using black StazOn ink. And for the corn image, I'm going to be using my markers. I have Daffodil Delight and Lucky Limeade. And now I'm going to use the cannery set of framelits to cut these out. I'll just go ahead and put these right where I want them to be, and then I can go ahead and run this through my die cutting machine. I'm also going to use this image from the Itty Bitty Banners stamp set. And you can see this one says happy birthday, and obviously we're making place cards today, so we don't want it to say happy birthday. But this is another great example of how you can think outside the box, or in this case, think outside the jar, when you're trying to get the most out of your stamp sets. I have an Island Indigo marker, and I'm just going to very carefully ink this up so that all that I'm inking is the border on the outside of the banner. I'm not inking the sentiment. And I'll just stamp that. And we have this super cute little banner image. And I'm going to use the coordinating die from the Bitty Banners framelits, and just go ahead and cut that out. And while I'm working on die cutting, I also have this little scrap of designer paper from the Orchard Harvest Designer Series paper collection. And I chose this because to me it looks kind of like a picnic tablecloth, and I'm going to use the cannery set of framelits to cut out this little jar topper out of this designer paper. And I'm also going to take this little piece of real red cardstock that measures 3 3/4 by 1 1/4, and I'm going to use the Chevron Textured Impressions embossing folder and just run this through. And keep in mind, if you're making a bunch of these, you could fit more than one. You could probably fit like 1, 2, 3, and then one going with the chevrons going the other direction for one pass through your big shot. So keep that in mind if you want to make this for yourself. So I'm just going to go ahead and take all my pieces that are going through the die cutting machine, and I'll be right back. So here are all my pieces, and I just want to do a little bit more embellishing before we assemble the place card. The first thing is obviously I need to write a name on the banner, and you could certainly, if you wanted to use some small stamps, you could you know, stamp your names now I'm going to take a little piece of linen thread and I'm just going to tie a bow sort of in the middle of it. And then get the bow to be the size that I want. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then I'll just take my little jar topper and flip that over and put a little bit of snail across the back. And then I'm just going to center the bow where I want it. Wrap one side of the linen thread around. And then you don't want to pull too tight because it'll shorten your bow, but just snugly wrap the other side around and then flip it over. And you can trim off the ends. And now I'm going to put some more snail on the back of this. And I'm going to apply that to the top of the jar, just like that. Okay. Now we'll take our little corn and put a couple of dimensionals on the back of that. Okay, and we'll just put that inside the jar. Just like that. And now, of course, realistically, this shouldn't be, you know, over top of the little topper, but this set is just so cute and fun and whimsical that I think it's adorable, even though it doesn't look terribly realistic. But of course, you wouldn't can a whole ear of corn anyway. Okay, and now I'm just going to put a little bit of snail on one side of this little banner. And I'll stick that right down to the corn like that. And then I'm going to put a dimensional on the other side of the banner. Oops. It moved on me. Okay. Okay, there's our little embellishment. The base of my place card is a piece of crumb cake cardstock that measures 4 by 3, and I scored it at 1.5 on the 3-inch side. We'll just go ahead and tape down our real red cardstock that we embossed with the chevrons. Center and stick that onto the front. Just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to put some snail in the bottom half of the back of my jar and take the backing off of this extra dimensional here. And then we can just go ahead and stick that down onto the left-hand side of our place card. Make sure that I like where the banner placement is. And stick that down really well. And there you have a super cute little mason jar place card. This is perfect for late summer barbecues. If you're having a picnic for Labor Day coming up this weekend, this would be super cute and very, very simple, especially using the framelits. This would be very easy to reproduce large quantities of for your whole family. And then, of course, with the corn, too, you can recycle this for Thanksgiving. So I hope this gave you some good ideas for how to use the perfectly preserved stamp set. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll join me again next time. Happy stampin'! Bye-bye.